Welcome viewers. Trump's lack of interest in the details had grave repercussions for the people whose fates were in his hands. 6 committee as they tried to track his thoughts and actions when he worked to overturn the 2020 election. The company said in a blog post, it is adding new guardrails to ensure there are no repeat offenders who violate its rules, even if they are political candidates or world leaders. In this video we will break it all down for you. But before we continue, please take a minute of your precious time to hit the subscribe button below and turn on the notification bell to get the latest update from us. According to multiple sources inside the administration, Trump completely disregarded the advice of the Office of the Pardon Attorney, an administrative body designed to administer impartial pleas for clemency in death penalty cases and other, lower-level offenses. Barr says he does not recall discussing any of the 13 inmates who were eventually killed with the president who sent them to the death chamber. He was unreachable by email. As reporters and Patrick Rice write, that means Trump never talked with Barr about Lisa Montgomery, a deeply mentally ill and traumatized person who became the first woman executed by the federal government since 1953. In the event that Mr. Montgomery, who committed an unspeakable act when she arranged a meeting with a dog breeder and then strangled, stabbed, and cut the fetus out of the dead woman's womb and attempted to pass it off as her own, was reportedly raped weekly by her stepfather by the age of 11, raped by her stepfather's friends, and raped by her stepbrother. People who have worked for Mr.S. In exchange for services like free plumbing, her mother would allow men to sexually assault her. The stepfather is said to have severely beaten her and caused traumatic brain injuries. Per Rolling Stone, Montgomery was diagnosed with, among other conditions, post-traumatic stress disorder and dissociative disorder. Those who have witnessed firsthand his visceral aversion to record keeping said they were shocked to learn about his new electronic habit. 7, 2021, for praising people engaged in violent acts at the Capitol a day earlier. MRIs revealed significant brain damage from the childhood beatings, and psychiatrist and University of Pennsylvania Professor Reuben Kerr said the physical and mental trauma she endured resulted in her brain being neither structurally nor functionally sound. According to Rolling Stone, it's unclear whether Trump ever read the petition her attorneys wrote, asking to delay the execution. One of her lawyers told the outlet she is not convinced that Montgomery fully understood that she was about to die. As the Times reminds us, the former aide who helped set up his Twitter account once told Politico that when Mr. Then there was the case of Brandon Bernard, who'd been sentenced to death for his role, at the age of 18, in the carjacking and murder of a young couple, Todd and Stacey Bagley. Banned from mainstream social media, Trump has been relying on Truth Social, which he launched after being blocked from Twitter. Free speech advocates say it is appropriate for the public to have access to messaging from political candidates, but critics of Meta have accused the company of lax moderating policies. Bernard was not the gang member who shot and killed the Bagleys, but he lit the car that they were in on fire. Anyway, good for the former guy for embracing new things. More than 10 years after his trial, Bernard's appellate lawyers argued that the prosecution had withheld key evidence showing that he was not the ringleader of the group, but a confused teenager following instructions from his place in the gang's lowest tier, per Rolling Stone. One member of the prosecution team wrote an op-ed saying Bernard did not deserve the death penalty. 8 million who currently follow him on Truth Social, but will also allow him to resume direct fundraising. More than half of the jury members who'd sentenced him who were still alive publicly stated that he should be spared. According to Rolling Stone, while recommendations made by the Justice Department's Pardon Attorney Office are not made public, days after it met with Bernard's attorneys in 2020, several sources told Bernard's team that the attorney had recommended Trump commute the death sentence to life in prison. Facebook has policies, but they under-enforce them, said Laura Murphy, an attorney who led a 2-year-long audit of Facebook concluding in 2020.